Well, joining us from Brussels now is the Secretary-General of NATO, Fogh Rasmussen. Fogh Rasmussen, we're starting to see a chorus of calls, are we not, to arm the Syrian opposition. Countries like Saudi Arabia, like Qatar, are pushing to arm the fighters. Is it too late to start arming the opposition, do you think?
First of all, let me stress that the behavior of the Syrian regime is absolutely outrageous, and I urge the regime to stop attacking the civilian population immediately. The bloodshed we are witnessing should convince the UN Security Council that time has come to reach an agreement on how to put an end to the violence in Syria. And I think a regional solution to the problems is of utmost importance. So I commend the Arab League for its efforts to find a peaceful solution to the problems in Syria.
All right, but that's lots of diplomatic speak. But I mean, what goes through your mind when you see the Syrian army laying waste to cities like Homs, the evidence of indiscriminate killing, the desperate humanitarian crisis? We just spoke to somebody from the ICRC in Damascus who said the situation in Bab al-Amr is absolutely terrible. What will it take then for NATO to start getting involved in a similar way it did in Libya?
Yeah, I'm upset. I'm moved by what I'm seeing. But let me also stress that there is a clear difference between Libya and Syria. In Libya, we operated on the basis of a very clear United Nations mandate, and we got active support from a number of countries in the region. None of these conditions are fulfilled as far as Syria is concerned.
Yeah, but hang on a second, because as you say, NATO's mandate in Libya was the protection of civilian life and property. But what is really different in Syria? You're saying your heart goes out to these people. Thousands of innocent civilians are being killed. That's an indisputable fact. So what's the difference between Syria and Libya?
Libya and Syria are two different societies, and this is a reason why I do believe that a solution has to be found in Syria with a very strong engagement of countries in the region. And this is also a reason why I commend the Arab League for its efforts to find a peaceful solution to the problems. But the Arab League should be supported by the international community embodied in the United Nations Security Council. And this is a reason why I strongly regret that the Security Council can't find an agreement on how to put an end to the violence in Syria.
All right. Well, what about this rather interesting idea of a humanitarian corridor? I mean, this is an idea that the French have been mooting recently. Would NATO, for example, support helping civilians in this way? I mean, would you help secure such a corridor?
We have not had any discussion within NATO on a possible NATO role, and as I told you, we see a clear difference between Libya and Syria because we protect the civilian population in Libya on the basis of a United Nations mandate with support from countries in the region, and these conditions are not fulfilled as far as Syria is concerned.
Let me ask you a final question. It's away from Syria, it's on Afghanistan, and talk about the issue of the burning of copies of the Quran in Afghanistan recently. The reaction to this, as you know, has been extraordinary, has it not? This incident is a public relations disaster for NATO. But let me ask you, Mr. Rasmussen, after all these years and after several incidents of the Quran being defaced, why is the NATO military not learning the lessons about these cultural and religious sensitivities?
Yeah, but I agree, lessons should be learned. Let me stress that the preliminary results of the investigation that has been initiated clearly state that this very unfortunate incident has been unintentional. There's been no malicious intent, and necessary measures will be taken to avoid such incidents in the future. But let me also stress that what has happened will not change our strategy. We will continue to gradually hand over lead responsibility for the security to the Afghan security forces.
All right, Fogh Rasmussen, thank you for talking to Al Jazeera.